Energy from Myanmar earthquake equal to hundreds of nuclear explosions. Dan Tri. The 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Myanmar has caused serious damage because of its large intensity and occurred in an area where there are not many structures designed to withstand strong geological tremors. The energy from the Myanmar earthquake is equal to hundreds of nuclear explosions. At around noon on March 28 local time, tens of millions of people in Southeast Asia felt the ground beneath their feet shaking violently. A 7.7 magnitude earthquake with an epicenter just 19 kilometers from Mandalay, Myanmar, shook the area, causing streets to crack, ancient pagodas to collapse, bridges to crumble, and houses to fall. In just a few seconds, entire residential areas were devastated. The energy released from this earthquake is equivalent to hundreds of nuclear explosions, according to estimates by the American magazine Scientific American. The intensity of this event was so great that it was felt in neighboring countries, said Amilcar Carrera-Ceballos, an earthquake scientist at Vicente Rocafuerte University in Guayaquil, Ecuador. A 30-story skyscraper under construction in Bangkok, about 600 miles from the epicenter, collapsed completely. The United States Geological Survey, USGS, estimates that the death toll could be in the thousands or even tens of thousands, with economic damage running into the tens of billions of dollars. A number of factors contributed to the disaster, including a lack of earthquake-proofing measures in buildings across the region. Few buildings could have withstood the magnitude of the quake, which was very large and shallow, meaning it occurred relatively close to the Earth's surface, said Judith Hubbard, an earthquake scientist at Cornell University. About 45 million years ago, the Indian tectonic plate collided with the Eurasian plate before gradually sinking beneath it. The compressed and pushed-up portion of the Earth's crust between the two plates is what is now the Himalayas. This region, including the mountain range, is filled with faults created by that giant collision. Today, the Indian plate continues to slowly move toward the Eurasian plate, causing these faults to build up a lot of pressure. Sometimes, this pressure exceeds the limit and the faults rupture. The March 28th event was the result of a giant rupture along one of those faults. All the available data suggests that this was a rupture on the Sagaing Fault Zone, said Robin Lacassin, an earthquake scientist at the Institute of Geophysics in Paris. This is a north-south fault of the strike-slip type, in which two blocks of the Earth's crust slide past each other, similar to the San Andreas Fault in California. The Sagaing Fault is the main strike-slip boundary of the Indian plate in this region, Lacassin explained, noting that it has produced many powerful and devastating earthquakes in the past. The energy from the Myanmar earthquake was equivalent to hundreds of nuclear explosions. Hubbard pointed out that just in May 2023, this type of fault triggered a magnitude 5.8 earthquake, causing some damage. This is a particularly dangerous fault, not only because it has a history of being active, but also because Myanmar's capital Nay Pai Ta lies directly on it. Today's 7.7 magnitude quake was far more powerful than the 2023 quake. Earthquakes are measured on the modified Mercalli intensity scale, which rates shaking based on observations of the surface. Near the epicenter, nearly 1 million people experienced shaking at level 9, which is extremely violent. On that scale, many buildings were not only damaged but also toppled, some even pulled off their original foundations. A little further away, the shaking was less intense, at very strong, but still shocking enough for Thais to see many buildings damaged there. Preliminary data suggests the seismic waves traveled so far because they were conducted along the southern part of the Sagaing Fault. This explains why Bangkok was damaged and why the tremors were felt so far away, said Carrera-Ceballos. Earthquakes like this are a reminder that disasters are not entirely natural. Today's earthquake was powerful, but the cities in the affected area did not stand a chance because of a human factor. It occurred in an area with no earthquake-resistant buildings and inadequate building codes, said Carrera-Ceballos. While it is impossible to design a building to withstand every earthquake, it is possible to incorporate shock absorbers into the structure too.
Vietnam xin mời cậu bảo là hỏi đến đâu có đi nào có đi
ra bảo để bôi cũng là cái đoàn thì cái sinh hoạt